Nazia, are you able to hear me? Thank you so much, Nazia. All right, great. Good evening, everybody. Hi, this is Anisha from Oman Book Lovers Club. And thank you everyone who's tuning in today. This is a quick, short 5-10 minute introductory live. And this is like a prologue, the teaser to the main chat on Sunday. So, words are really not enough to express how thrilled I feel today for so many reasons. Number one, the season finale is almost here. Do not forget to tune in on Sunday, 8 p.m. Oman time, 9:30 p.m. IST, 10 a.m. CST. We did it. We completed the entire season of live chats with award-winning best-selling authors representing diversity in all possible ways. Authors of different age groups, authors for different age groups, writing different genres and from very diverse backgrounds around the globe. Number two, in the season finale, we are talking to the very, very amazing Katherine Center. Not just a talented author, Katherine is such a warm and vibrant person. Everything around her resonates that. Her books, her stories, her colorful book covers, her social media presence, her posts, and you will know more when you hear her talk. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my dear friend and OBLC member Charlotte, who's here today, for her reviews of Katherine Center books that have kind of led to this chat happening. If you're someone not yet introduced to the world of Katherine Center, here we are today to do it for you. While she needs no introduction, the purpose of this short introductory live today is to hear from Katherine herself. Let's bring her on.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
It's working. You can hear me, yes?
Yes, I can. Thank God. I can't express how thrilled I am today. I have said that already. So let's go ahead. For all our viewers, just a little introduction. Katherine Center is a best-selling author of 8 heartwarming, adorable novels. The 9th one is already up for pre-order, coming out in June 2022. 2 of her books are Netflix movies. Enough from me. Katherine and I will be doing a much longer introduction in our main chat on Sunday, but today is the time, as we have planned, to hear from you. We would like you to tell our viewers, audience, who is Katherine Center in your words?
Oh my gosh, that's a really great question. You know, I write stories. That's kind of the number one thing that I do all the time. I mean, I'm always thinking about stories, either mine or other people's, and how they work and what makes them meaningful and what makes them powerful and what makes them fun to read. So, I mean, I would say that more than anything else, I'm a writer of stories, and I try to make them fun and meaningful. I mean, I am always trying to find a balance between darkness and light in the stories that I write. You know, I'm always trying to write stories about people who have to struggle, you know, with real things, as we all do in life. But I also try to make sure that they cope with those hardships in ways that are fun and funny and inspiring, and in ways where they can sort of draw wisdom out of whatever it is that they're having to go through. So, you know, in my own actual life, I'd say my number one coping mechanism for hard times is cracking a lot of jokes. So, so we call my books sort of bittersweet comedies, because they do both. You know, they hopefully they're kind of laugh and cry books where they kind of break your heart a little bit, but they also make you laugh and give you something really great to look forward to.
They are about serious situations, serious experiences of people, but they are written in a very comic way, very fun way. Not comic, I think it's a fun way, which makes you laugh at the serious situations. It's very endearing, very endearing. Charlotte here is here. She says there are so much fun and great messages. Yes, of course. And Charlotte is the one who, it's a long story. Well, so Charlotte, thank you again. Okay. So, a little bit about what kind of books you write. You've already covered that, but if you would like to just leave a little bit of hint about the kind of stories you've written, because this is really a teaser to get people to join our main chat.
Oh, well, you know, I try to write stories that are, well, they always have a love story in them. And actually the stories really are about love in all different ways and all different levels. You know, they're about how we take care of each other, and they're about how we look after each other and how we sacrifice for each other. And, you know, I think that the world of literature has misery kind of covered. You know, I think it's, we've got that down. Like, we're great at misery in the literature world. But what I'm kind of more interested in trying to write about is joy, you know, and kindness and compassion, and sort of the ways that we manage to sort of be the best versions of ourselves. You know, the ways that we manage to be more compassionate and more generous and more loving and more connected. And I think those things are not always easy to do in real life. And I think maybe we don't talk about them enough, and maybe we don't think about them enough. So, but I, in my own real life, think about that stuff all the time. I'm always trying to be wiser, more compassionate, more connected, better human, you know? And so that's one of the reasons why I write about that stuff so much, is that I'm trying to figure it out myself. And I think that stories are really good teachers, or at least they can be. You know, they have the potential to teach us different ways of thinking about things, and different ways of reacting, and different ways of being in the world. So yeah, so I think I'm always trying to write stories that are kind of inspiring and helpful to people. I mean, I want them to be fun, but I also want them to matter. Yes, yes.
Carol here says How to Walk Away is a must read with lots of hearts.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm fond of that book. Yeah.
I want to ask, and of course there'll be longer discussion on all of this in the main chat, but the one thing that comes to my mind right now, you write fiction, but it has a lot of message. It has a lot of, like you said, stories that matter. People who read, they experience the life story of the character, and it will leave a very powerful impact on our thinking, on our behavior. Didn't you ever think of writing non-fiction? Because the content that you are giving across to your readers is very, very self-help kind as well. So didn't you ever think of, you know, kind of shooting a non-fiction in between?
Yes. I mean, I read nonfiction all the time. I constantly am reading psychology textbooks. I mean, I'm reading a very, very dry psychology textbook right now that I think is completely fascinating, because it's all about coping and coping skills and how humans cope. So I'm going through it with a highlighter, because, you know, I'm not always great at coping, and I would like to be better at coping. So I'm kind of endlessly fascinated by how we do that, and how other people do it, how people who are better at it than me do it. And so, yeah, I read a ton of nonfiction. That's probably almost as much of a love for me as fiction. And yeah, someday, absolutely, maybe when I get my kids off to college and have a little more free time, I would love to write a nonfiction book someday.
Yeah, that would be really, really fantastic coming from you.
Thank you.
Charlotte says it's hard to separate from the characters when the book ends. That's true. I can totally relate to that.
Well, you know, I think if a writer is really, like, if a fiction writer is really doing a good job, when you read a work of fiction, you should not just like be kind of like watching that character from afar. You should kind of really step into that person's skin. Really. I mean, it should be this very intense experience of empathy, where you feel like you kind of become that person for a little while in some ways. And, you know, and you have this really profound connection with that character, where like there's something that person wants and you want it too. You know, you want it for them and with them and as them, you know. And to me, that's like really profound experiences of connection that we can have, is when we really kind of step into somebody else's shoes and try to imagine what it's like to be that person. So I think fiction is great practice for real life, because the better we are at doing that in fictional stories, the better we can do that for the real people all around us.
Very true. Very true. You know, when you relate, you take away something for sure. You know, a lot of times people say, I didn't like this book. especially, I'm talking about especially fiction here. And there could be two reasons. Either the book wasn't really well written, or the second thing could be that you didn't feel happy after it because the book, you were so immersed in the story. So, when people say I didn't like the book, I would always question them back. What exactly didn't you write? Did you not feel happy after the book ended, which means it was so well written that it really hit you at the right place? So you just adding to what you said.
I actually agree with that. I've been writing books for a long time, and I've read a lot of reviews over the years. And I think a lot of book reviews tell you more about the person writing the review than about the book itself, right? Because it tells you about what they wanted and did or did not get.
Yes.
So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. So what should the viewers expect from the chat on Sunday? What would you say?
Oh, just more of whatever this is. I'm very chatty. Like, I love writing, but I also love talking about things. And I really love talking about stories and why they matter and what makes them so powerful in human life. So if you come on Sunday, we'll have a lot more time to really take deep dives into some of this stuff. And, I'm super excited to get to visit with you guys. It's great. Thank you.
And just to add to that, we will also like to talk a lot more about your reading, your journey as an author, your publishing journey, how, I've read on your website, your first book, how it got published. And a lot of our club members have asked in the previous chats questions regarding publishing. There are some aspiring authors. So that's something we would like to talk much more about. And how do you get the inspiration for the stories? How do you build the characters? How does the story happen to you and your writing process? So all of that, there'll be a lot of deep dives. So people who are watching this and who will be watching the recording, if you want to listen to all of this from Katherine Center, tune in on Sunday, which is 19th December at 8 p.m. Oman time and 10 a.m. CST, which is 4 p.m. GMT. So, you can calculate your time wherever you are. And the last question, Katherine, is who is it for? Who is this chat for? And who are your books for? What would you say to that?
I think my books are really for anybody who wants to feel inspired. I want to feel inspired. I want to feel more hopeful about the human race and about life and our potential. And so, I'm always trying to write books that are really hopeful. And that's not easy. It's not easy to be hopeful, and it's not easy to write hopeful books. But so that challenge never gets old, to write stories that come from a place of genuine hopefulness about the human condition. So, I think that's really who they're for. Anybody who's kind of looking for that feeling, who wants to feel like things can get better and like we can figure stuff out and like we can get on top of things in the world. So that's what it is.
Yeah. I think that's about it for today. This is supposed to be a quick introductory chat, a teaser, a prologue, and we are really, really excited to talk to you on Sunday, which will be a great detailed chat. And thank you everybody who's tuned in today and who's watching, and see you all on Sunday at 19th December. Again, I repeat the time, 4 p.m. GMT. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.